Welcome back, guys. I am here with Edwin and Marc. How are we doing? How was practice?
Really good.
Good?
This is good. Getting ready for the weekend. After the off week's pretty nice. Getting the legs back to it, and the body and mind ready for a game day again.
Yeah, absolutely. So talking about bye week, how was the bye week for you guys? Not getting as much hits. I know Spooner talked about how he's like, oh, it's gonna feel good to wake up on the weekend not getting hit and checked into the boards and getting all that physical. So how was it for you guys?
It was good, yeah. We had some guys that were a little beat up going into it, so it was good for them to get some rest. And all of us kind of, it's a long season. It's a bit of a grind at times, so it was good for everybody to get rested up for these last few weeks of the regular season and then going into playoffs.
Yeah. Just got to say same thing. It's a long season, and especially Spooner said, waking up good. He's one of those guys who always feels like always being banged up. So, for sure we took advantage of that.
So, obviously how is the body's feeling after just being rested? I can't even imagine getting checked into the boards and doing all that and getting that physical stuff, because I know after I do track, my legs are dead, but I do running and jumping. It's nothing, no physical contact involved in that.
Well, I don't really know. I mean, it's something we've been doing for 10, 15, almost 20 years now. Obviously when you get older, it gets a little more physical, but our bodies, or especially what Tommy did with us over the past 3 years, kind of preparing for that. To see our senior class, we barely missed many games, and it's just part of the game. Unfortunately, we don't really have any serious injuries of guys getting too banged up, but it's just part of the game.
Part of it. So how was it for you guys? I know there's been a couple injuries, Marc, you included, and Souter's been sitting out for a little bit. Was it just good to kind of get those legs and kind of get maybe even a little more skating that's not so tough? Because I know games were involved in practices last week, right? Is that something that was true?
Yeah, we had a few little competitions between each other, which is kind of nice to have a little fun during the week when it's not quite as serious as a game week. So, yeah, those are good, and I guess Marc can speak for himself on that one, but I think guys like Souter, it was nice for them to get their feet back under him after a little bit of time off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. It was just slowly getting back to the team practices, and I mean, obviously you don't want to get run over in practice by any means, and but it felt really good just getting with the guys again.
Awesome. So are you guys excited to get back to home ice this weekend after having that bye week?
Yeah, for sure, especially with the senior night coming up on Saturday. I think that's a weekend we're all looking really forward to. I know everybody's going to have their families here, myself included, so we're pretty pumped for this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to get to see your families and people that you don't get to see a lot, especially being from Germany and everything else. How excited are you to see people and kind of be in that moment of, wow, this is coming to an end? I'm really excited for it, but still.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I think all three of my sisters are going to be down with my parents, so that's the first time that's happened since I've been here, so that'll be pretty fun to have everybody together like that. And I mean, it'll be an interesting weekend. It's four years put in and kind of all coming down to the last little bit here, so it's emotional and that kind of stuff, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, I think emotional is a pretty good word.
Mm-hmm.
It's been such a big part of our lives, and seeing that come to an end, we knew, at some point it's got to come to an end. We knew that, but senior weekend is finally here, so it's for sure going to be a little emotional for all of us.
So talking a little bit about senior week underway, you guys, Edwin, you've had a video come out where we're doing this thing where they're actually, two of our guys right now are working hard on the videos and getting those all set up, but how does it feel to, at least for Edwin, Marc, yours is coming out a little later in the week, to see those videos and kind of see those memories of things that you maybe forgot, or just to realize that and hear Coach Hastings maybe even talk about such great words, because you guys have such a good bond. So how does it feel maybe seeing those or relishing in the memories a little bit?
It was great, yeah. I mean, after Frenchies came out there, I don't think any of us really knew that they were going to do that. And then after Frenchies came out, now all of us were really looking forward to it. So I was really happy with mine. The guy who put it together, I messaged him and told him he did an awesome job, because it is great. And it's cool to look back at some of those memories from earlier on and then earlier this year, and just see how things have progressed over my years here. And yeah, it was awesome. I think they did an amazing job with it.
They spent I spent like hours and hours on it because Greg was like, got us together and we're going to do stuff. And I don't think anyone realized how good his name's Alecs was going to be until we saw it. I was like, whoa, it's top-notch stuff. And I like to hear, like, my favorite part was hearing Coach Hastings talk about some things. And so, Marc, are you excited to see yours maybe even a little bit?
Oh, yeah. I mean, actually, when you go back to Hasty, it kind of it's a little sad in his voice. I mean, he kind of gets you a little emotional. Especially with Frenchie's video, it was kind of caught us off guard. I was sitting with my roommates, Josh French, and Nico and Parker, and then we all watched it together. It was amazing to see. And then I think Parker said at the end of the day, if they come out with a new one every day, I might be crying every night. Yeah. But it was awesome to see. All we're seeing is we can't wait for our own video, because that's something you can watch, at a later time, at a later point in life, and you have something to look back at. It's pretty awesome. Absolutely.
So with those coming out and everything senior week, what is your favorite memory from your last 4 seasons, whether that be, getting like records or this, or just being with the guys? It's a lot to look back on, so I can give you a second to be like, okay, which one?
That's I've been getting that question a lot.
Yeah, I bet.
It's I would just say especially with my classmates, my roommates, just hanging out. We spent so much time together. It's amazing. And then obviously on the ice was probably the championship game.
Yeah.
That just really just like an emotional roller coaster with the crazy ending and then a crazy night downtown. And so that was probably that was probably one of the best days here. But if somebody asked me what the best memory is, just being with my classmates, my teammates, and especially my roommates.
Yeah, what are you saying, Edwin? The same thing?
Yeah, it's crazy to think back to, freshman year in the dorms with our class and how it's come from there. And I guess on ice, obviously that championship game is pretty easy to look back on as a highlight. And the other championships too, the McNaughtons that we won, those were pretty exciting too. That was the first championship I'd won in a long time. Like, I don't even know, when I was 10 years old probably, that was the last time I won a championship. So that was pretty exciting. Then to have won a few of them now, it's awesome. So obviously those are the easy ones to look at on ice, and then but off ice, just when you're I guess I never knew very much about college going into it, but just the amount of time you spend with your class and your teammates, it's incredible, and the bonds you build in your years together, it's something special. So it'll be a big change coming out of it.
Huge change. And we talked about like Hastings, and can you guys like elaborate on how big of a bond that is and to you guys have? Because even after we go back to when he had his 200 game, Parker and you guys were saying, good job, coach, good luck, coach, when he was on his set doing the interview we do at the end of the game, and you could just like feel the bond, and he was excited, and he just talked about you guys, and he's talked about you guys, said you guys are so special to him. This senior class is so special, and what you guys have done and what you're doing now. So can you just elaborate a little on that bond you guys have?
I don't know. I think it all starts with him, and then Coach Bluey and Otter bringing in the right people. You look at our class. There's none of the guys you don't want to hang out with, because everybody's just a different personality, and actually everybody is so much different, and that's maybe why we're so close to each other. And then for a class coming in, we struggled in our freshman year as a team. And then a really good sophomore year, so like we've been around for, it feels like, forever, and we've seen coach and all, everybody's around for so long. It's they're big parts of our life, but so are we in their life, and not only on the ice. It's we have a special bond, I think, but off the ice as well. And it's sad to see that come to an end, but it pushes us, motivates us too every day. Yeah.
What are you thinking, Edwin?
Yeah, when you spend almost every day together for 4 years, you build a bond, and we build a bond with him on the ice. We have a lot of respect for him there, and then just in personal lives too, he is willing to build a bond on that side too, which is great. Some coaches aren't like that, and he's willing to do it both ways. So it's yeah, it's special. We have a lot of respect for him and the way he goes about his business. So yeah, it's been great.
So, last kind of question about senior night, but is there a favorite season you can go back and look on and be like, I had so much fun doing this, or even like this season you're like, well, it's my last season, so I would say this is probably my favorite one. Is there something that sticks out within those, or just all 4 years are just fantastic?
Every year is so much different from the other. Even though we have pretty much the same team from last year, just the time we spend with each other is different. I can't even explain it.
Describe it. It's just kind of something you feel inside.
It's just awesome. I think obviously now you don't really take it for granted because we only have a few months left, so we enjoy every day. But since our freshman year, every year has been different. But it's so awesome. Yeah.
What are you thinking, Edwin?
Yeah, I mean, freshman year is kind of special because it's everything's so new, but we also struggled a lot that year, so that was bit of a grind of a year that way. But then the next 2 years we had a lot of success, and that was a lot of fun. And then this year, obviously we'll see how things play out from this point on. It'll be exciting, but I think this year I'm just trying to, like Marc said, kind of cherish everything a little more. You kind of realize that it's your last kick at it, so you kind of got to enjoy all the little moments that come along with it. So yeah, it comes quick at you, so
Absolutely.
You kind of got to enjoy every little bit of it.
Yeah, even like me being a track athlete here in senior year, I kind of like catch myself off guard. I'm like, no, I've only got like how many more months left? You don't get caught up in the moment. You're thinking about this is my second to last meet or like game or whatever. You just kind of go day by day, and all of a sudden now you guys are probably like, wow, it's senior week already. Like you never thought of in the season, and even look, it's like we're rolling through the season so fast. So it just kind of comes at you in something you're not really thinking about actively.
Sure. Yeah.
So we're gonna go now into UAH preview. So they're kind of a lower. They're like last two in the rankings, but that doesn't really matter because every point matters. You got Bemidji that's 5 points behind you right now, and they swept Northern big, which would say because we were maybe hoping that they'd get a sweep. You guys know, but so how important is it to get these points, every point, not even splitting or doing anything? How important is it just so you can get a bigger lead?
Oh, it's incredibly important. Yeah, I mean, it's championship time now.
Yep.
We're fighting for that championship with Bemidji, so every point matters. We can't give anything up, especially going into we're gonna be facing them a week later. So we want to, keep that 5 point gap on them if we can with 2 wins this weekend. So, but yeah, we got to look forward to UAH here first. We haven't played them in a long time, so obviously they're going to be a better team than when we played them last time. Everybody gets better through the year, so it'll be a different game than last time, but we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, especially now with 2 weekends left, it's almost playoff hockey. It feels like playoff hockey from my previous experiences when it comes down to the last weekends. I know we clinched the McNaughton's the last two. I think it was in February or early February,
Yep.
so we didn't really have the feeling fighting for that. So it's still a fresh kind of feeling. You have to fight for that trophy, and we're really pumped for Friday. But we don't look at the series next week. I mean, Bemidji's going to be there.
Yep.
No matter what, and we expect them to win both games this weekend. And then we expect us to win both games to have a good final. But we take it day by day right now, like we always do. When we win, when we lose, it just kind of stays the same. Friday can't come soon enough.
Yeah, absolutely. So is it harder or easier for you guys to play after a bye weekend? Because some teams come in, and even like football, some teams come in and they say it's harder because they've had the week off and that other team has been maybe even like prepping, like you guys have been prepping or whatever else. So is it like, oh, we haven't played for a week, like, oh no, like what's going to happen? Obviously you guys know how to play hockey and you know how to do that. Is it, I just always want to know personally too, I just don't know if it's harder or easier. You would think it would be easier because your legs are rested. But I just don't know if it's like harder to get back into the swing of things when you're out for a week.
Yeah, I mean, coach doesn't really let anybody get rusty.
Yeah.
We even though it was a bye week, it was still a work week, and we've been working so far this week, and that'll keep up for the next couple of days going into the weekend. So, I think that bye came at a really good time for us. The second half we were on the road a lot, and it just seemed like games were piling on, kind of thing. So I think it was a good time. like I said earlier, get some people healthy again. We were a little beat up in some spots, so I think that bye came at a really good time, and I think we needed the rest, and I think that'll help us for going forward. So
I would say it can go both ways.
Mm-hmm.
We had some games where you do feel a little rusty, and then you just try to survive for the first 10-20 minutes. But we have enough leaders, enough other upperclassmen. That's not going to happen. Especially those first 5 minutes. I know coaches preach it all the time, and our leader's been there. Our junior's been there, so we want to make sure the first 5 we really come out. Like we haven't left or we haven't taken any days off, and we're going to do the same weekend. If it turns out to be good, great. If they play smarter, because they, obviously didn't take the week off last week, so be it. But as long as we don't get outworked, or our work ethic is there and we compete, that's probably the biggest thing. We're trying to get back into that side of the game, and then everything else will come with the time as the game goes on.
Absolutely. So obviously, you're going to know that UAH is going to come out defensively. They're going to come out really hard, trying to put bodies on you, slow you guys down, because that's really the only way that they're going to try to come out with a sweep or try to get at you guys, because them offensively, we obviously know that they're a little bit lower. So how do you guys can contain them, contain their physicality, maybe take the boards, and even if that, try not to stay out of the box so much too, because I feel like that's going to be another strategy, is put the bodies on you guys, put you in the box so they get more power plays, and you got a PK, even though your PK is pretty rock solid.
Probably not something we haven't seen yet.
Yep.
Just got to be smart enough. I mean, we played with 32 games now. We've been on both sides, so if they want to play physical, we can play physical too, and this is kind of our identity too, playing hard and inside of the rink, and we're not going to change it. And no matter who the opponent is, we're going to look at ourselves. So whatever they're going to give us, obviously we're going to trying to find ways to make it a little easier for us. But like I just said, it all comes down now to the work ethic and level of competitiveness when it comes to the playoffs, and we got to make sure we're ready for it.
Yeah. Same thoughts, Edwin?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think we have a lot of skill on our team, a lot of skill up front, but I think we got a lot of guys that can play hard and can play gritty if it's that kind of game. I don't think anybody would shy away from that. So, I mean, we'll be ready for them. We've seen, exactly like Marc said, teams come at us like that all the time, and we'll be ready for it.
So do you guys have any goals, team goals or personal goals for this series? Getting more in the power play, more shots on goal, maybe puck management is a really big one. Is there anything that Coach Hastings has talked about specifically, this is what we need to do in this series, or just same old kind of getting shots and scoring in the first couple minutes?
Well, especially with the week off, you try to get back on track with everything. I know our power play has been struggling a little bit lately, so we've been working on this pretty early this week. So it's for sure one thing. Special teams in general, right from the playoffs, you can't lose that special teams battle on both sides. So yeah, we kind of cleaned that up this week, and I really hope our 5-on-5 game kind of we'll take it to the next level. I think that's what he wants right now. That's what our leadership group kind of expects of his group right now too. But no, nothing particular.
Too out of there?
No.
Okay. Same, Edwin? Kind of same thoughts?
Yeah.
Just
going back and forth. So what do you think? What's going on? Huh? But, I mean, that's what you got to think when you go into a game like this, especially so close to playoffs, is you're just you don't want to change anything up, especially if you've been in a groove that you've been in. There's nothing that you're going to want to throw out there that's different than anything, because it's not what you want when you're coming down to game time. So, I mean, honestly, I was going to make this a little shorter bit episode too, because just getting down to the point, it's playoff time. We got to talk hockey, be like, hey, this is what's going on. So this episode's out now on Apple and Spotify. Please subscribe, guys. Thank you guys for coming in, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.